Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of NuStrength Sugar Babes. And today we have a very special guest, Michelle Storm. Now, I interviewed Michelle, I think maybe you're about 16 weeks in, was it, roughly?
Yeah, ran about that.
And you've done amazing back then, and now you've been in the program for 12 months. Bravo. Well done. I was just saying to Michelle, you should be so proud of yourself because you've stuck it out. You've played the long game. You've failed forward. You haven't been perfect, but you've persisted. And look at you now. It really is incredible. You do need to celebrate that, I think, and give yourself more praise than you actually do because you look amazing too. How many kilos have you lost now? 11?
Go about 11 kilos, yeah.
And how many centimetres over your body?
It's over 75, and I haven't added it up in the last couple of months, but yeah,
it's crazy.
A lot. My clothes fit beautifully now, so.
Oh, that's crazy. It's so well done. But before we talk about your results, I just, for the people that probably haven't watched this before or seen your original interview, why did you join the program? What were the issues that you were having prior? What was life like before Win at Life?
Miserable. It was miserable. I was in that same roundabout that people are on where I was starving myself, 1,200 calories, and I'd be proud of myself if I could eat less than 1,200 calories. No energy, always tired. I was going to the gym 6 days a week. If I didn't go 6 days a week, then I had that mental battle where I was feeling guilty, and I used to have this terrible voice in my head that would just berate me all the time. And if I didn't go, the negative self-talk was amazing. I would constantly be beating myself up that I didn't go. And so then, of course, didn't go to the gym. So don't eat as much the next day to try and counterbalance it, not realising, that I was actually negatively affecting my body. But yeah, so it was just that cycle, and it was cardio sort of stuff that I was doing, Les Mills classes and all that kind of stuff. I'd go to the gym, but I realised now I wasn't actually doing very good stuff at the gym. The way I was using the equipment and the weights I was doing were just, I'm sure people were looking at me going, oh my God, what's she doing? So yeah, it was just that big cycle, always tired, and I was still putting on weight. I was going to the gym, going 6 times a week, but still putting on weight. So when I joined, I was at my lowest point that I'd been in such a long time. I just couldn't stand looking at myself in the mirror. I didn't fit into any of my clothes. I was just depressed, and my whole demeanour showed it. I've seen photos, and I posted one of my photos that I posted, like my before and after photo. You can tell my frame of mind in the photo, just my whole, even the way I'm standing, everything was just, I was just so down, was miserable. Yeah. So when I stumbled across you and had a talk to Ben, and I was like umming and ahhing, but best decision I ever made. And all of that's changed now. Just, yeah.
I actually can't believe it's been 12 months. It's crazy. It's gone so quick because you're like one of our, not very original, because the program's been going probably for about 18 months now. But you're close to one of the very starting people, which is amazing. How old are you? 40?
I'm 46.
46. And you've got 3 kids, hey?
Two kids. 2 grown boys.
So most of the women in our program tend to be in their 40s, late 30s. Most are in their 40s, and then some are in their 50s. So I think that by the time you get to 40, you're probably like, oh God, I just can't do those dumb diets anymore, and I need something that's actually sustainable. I remember in your first interview, you were known as the tired lady. People would say you're the tired lady because you were just tired all the time.
I was. Everyone would say, how are you? I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. They're going, yeah, that's what we know. No, not so much. I'll still have big days. Like, I'm a teacher, and some days are not only physically exhausting, they're mentally and emotionally exhausting. So I'll still get tired, but I'm not like collapse on the bed and can't move. I can still get on with life. So Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So no, not so tired anymore.
Now, so you're 11 kilos down. So what weight did you start on initially? What weight were you?
I started around 75 kilos. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So you're like
Yeah.
64 kilos now.
Yeah. I go between 63, 64
That's
kilos. So
crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy. And how many calories are you consistently eating now a day?
I think it's 1990
To be exact. Isn't
to
that
be
insane?
exact.
So you've lost 11 kilos eating more food, and you're only strength training 3 days a week.
That's it.
Yeah. Your skin looks amazing
No
too.
cardio.
No cardio.
Yeah. No cardio. No. Yeah.
It's amazing. So obviously there's been the great body composition changes that you've had. What other changes have you noticed?
Do you know what? I was thinking about this. The biggest one, like I was saying, it's my mindset and the mental health that I have, or the relationship I have with me, my body, and food. I can't remember the last time I actually berated myself or put myself down for anything, which is just amazing. It's such a godsend. And food. I have a much healthier relationship with food now. You know, I know what I can eat. The beauty of your program is that I choose what I eat as long as it fits in with my macros and the calories and whatever. I eat the foods I like. I'm not being dictated by somebody going, you have to eat this and you have to eat salad and, you know, just steamed broccoli and chicken or whatever. I can choose to eat whatever I want. So, you know, I can put into MyFitnessPal my recipes and eat what I want and feel happy and feel satisfied. And, you know, it's not I don't feel like I'm restricted with anything. I can eat ice cream. You know, I don't feel like I'm depriving myself of anything. So that's kind of got rid of those cravings as well. You know, where you sit there going, oh God, I want something sweet. No, I can't have sugar. Sugar's evil, blah, blah, blah. That was me. I was a sugar Nazi for years, you know.
Me too.
So, yeah. So I just my mental state around myself, my body, food has just improved so much. Yeah.
It's so. Do you feel? I feel like for me, it freed me. Like freed me from food obsession.
And what I love too is the fail forward.
Yeah.
You know, if you do slip off the wagon, or you know, it's like, oh well, start again. You know, or now if I go out for dinner, like I went out for dinner last week for my sister's birthday. Didn't freak out about what I was going to eat or anything like that. I was just like, okay, I know what I can eat. Look at the menu, choose wisely, make sure you got your proteins, got some carbs, and just eat and enjoy and don't feel guilty, you know. Whereas I used to feel guilty, you know, for days. Oh my God, I shouldn't have eaten that. Well, I'm going to get so fat because, you know, I ate ice cream. So stupid, but you know,
it's so drilled into you though. You know, like restrict, and you have to binge. And the other thing too is like, you know, like I don't always. The women who are in your position are like me. You know, you've gotten to a point where you're happy with your body, you're training 3 days a week, you're feeling good. What the great thing about this is why it's so completely freeing, I think, is that I have times like you, where like we went out for dinner with mum and dad and my family on Easter, and I just had oysters for entree, and I had this like amazing prawn risotto, and I just ate till I felt full. I didn't track it. I didn't measure it. You know, it's like you don't have to, you are completely free eventually. You know, like I still track, probably like you, I like to track during the week because I can just prep the food, you know, plan it all out in MyFitnessPal. I know what keeps me optimized in terms of sleep and energy, and then I just eat it. And then the weekends, something like that, you don't feel trapped anymore because you can actually go out with your friends and enjoy things. And like you say, you know and understand what works for your body. So like for me, I would never eat anything deep fried because I know that'll just make me all bloated and feel like shit, but I wouldn't want to eat it anyway now. Like I can just eat all this beautiful, amazing food. So yeah, I think it does completely free you. Like you can be free if you put the work in.
Yeah, and it's empowering. It's just getting all that knowledge and understanding what's good for your body and what's not. And you can eventually kind of feel it. Like, you know, if you do eat something that isn't actually good for your body, or your gut tells you, you know, 20 minutes, half hour later, it's like, oh, you know, I didn't really like that, you know. And because we're eating real food, you know, it's just real food. We're not eating processed shit. You know, I was the queen of protein powders. I was consuming, you know, so many protein shakes a day. You know, I'd even take them to work and have them. And it's like nothing, you know. I don't buy any supplements or anything like that anymore. It's just, you know, you get protein from your food. You know, it's just
Totally.
all, yeah.
Real good, nutrient dense, delicious, delicious food. And Michelle, you were, if a woman's watching this and she's in the program, you know, what would be your one or two pieces, most important, like pieces of advice or piece of advice that will have the most impact on women who are initially starting the program? Like what words of wisdom can you share with them? Because you've been here for 12 months and you've gotten to your goal. Like you look great. You know, you're strong. And you've got your energy. You've freed yourself from food obsession. You've achieved it. You've got there, and you're still going. But like,
Still going.
What could you tell them? What can you tell them that'll help them?
I think just tell them to reach out. That you guys have got so many support systems in place for women. Like, so reach out to your big sister. You know, put a question out in Slack. Put a question out in Facebook. Join in on the lives or the hot seats that everybody does. You know, sort of if you're struggling with something, just ask, because you guys have created the best community ever, and people are there to help. So if you're having trouble, just reach out and somebody will be able to help you, or lots of people will help you. So yeah, and just persist. Don't give up. Don't give up. Just keep going, because it's worth it. I think that was the point I got to. I was worth it. I was worth the time and the energy. And, you know, it was my turn, you know, after 45 years of sort of putting a lot of other people first. You know, it was my turn to put myself first and focus on myself. So I would encourage every woman to do that. If you're struggling, don't quit. Reach out for help.
I think too, like, would you say that it is, because whenever you come into something new, you're learning new skills. So it's hard at the start. You know, I think, and I've shared a story in our Facebook group about how 18 months ago I had no idea about marketing. Didn't know how to launch a Facebook ad, couldn't build a funnel, couldn't use ManyChat, like just totally overwhelmed. And I kept telling myself this same story. I can't do this. I'm too busy. I'm never going to be able to pick up these ads. I'd go into Facebook ads and I'd just be like, nah. And then I think, like you say, one day I got to the point where I was like, I realized we kept failing because we kept outsourcing our marketing, and I needed to learn it. I just had to knuckle down and go, if this takes me 18 months, I have to do it. And I just started to tell myself, like you said, I'm worth it. I'm worth it. You know, I'm going to persist. I'm going to fail forward. Fast forward 18 months. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I'm like, I can launch a Facebook campaign, you know, build one out in half a day, build the funnels, build the landing pages, launch Facebook ads, understand the metrics, you know, like it's actually quite incredible what you can achieve. And as time went on and I got better and I practiced, now it's a piece of piss. You know, like, is it easy for you now to build meal plans, to understand your body, to meal prep, like all of those things and understanding the foods that was so hard at the start? How much easier is it now?
And it is overwhelming when you start. Like I felt completely overwhelmed too, because there's so much information out there. But you guys have reshaped your program 2 or 3 times since I've been here, and just made it better and easier for women as they come in, and you know, so they can take it step by step by step. So I remember what it was like, feeling so overwhelmed and so much information to take in. But if you just focus on the one little thing in front of you and then just move on. But and I'm one of those people, and I'm assuming there's other ladies out there too, you look at the whole big picture and get completely overwhelmed, rather than compartmentalizing, breaking it down. Okay, I'll just do this bit today, and then I'll do this bit today, you know. And, you know, as the advice is, you know, for a lot of them, it's just focus on your food first. Don't worry about lifting weights or anything like that. That's kind of the easy bit, because you can sort of do that, but it's getting that food and working it out. That's the hard bit. But there's so much support out there that, you know, to help you do it too. So
Oh, and
to be utilised.
I agree with that completely. You know, like I get emails every single week from women in the program reaching out to me, Kitty, I've fallen off the wagon. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm like, I always say it's like, number one, put things in perspective. Has anyone died? And they're like, no. I'm like, are you dying? No. Is your partner dying? Okay, cool. So we can tackle this. Be a problem solver. Always one thing. Start with the food. Plan the food, prep the food, eat the food. Do that for 2 weeks straight. Then you're going to sleep better. You're going to feel better. Then we can tackle the training. Then we can tackle the tracking sheet, you know, and you build on it one habit at a time, because you cannot do everything. And the most important thing is the food and nailing that, because that is what will balance you, get you sleeping, you know, fix the mood swings and the cravings and everything. And then it's like, okay, cool. Once you've done that and it's second nature, like, all right, now I'm going to add another habit in, which should be the training.
Yeah.
And I might go and train them, and then I'm going to video. So it's like, you're right. You've just got to build and take it one step at a time. And in no time, you're like, fuck, it's 12 months. Like me with the marketing.
Exactly.
I was sitting there the other day, like building out this campaign for the gym. And this is why I tell you to do this, because I sat there and I thought, fucking good work, Kitty. I am so proud of you. Like, I actually say this to myself. You couldn't do any of this 18 months ago, and look what and I messaged Lynn and I was like, thanks so much for fucking, you know, pushing me to be better. And, you know, cause I feel in control now, and it's taken me 18 months, but who cares? It's flown. Like, look at you now. You probably thought 12 months ago, I'm never going to get this. This is so overwhelming, so hard. And look at you now.
No, exactly. And I'm still learning. I'm by no means an expert at all.
No.
Still learning. Yeah. Like, but I actually messaged Lexi last night. How do I upload my video again? Like,
that's all right. But you know to reach out and ask, because we've got those people that help you. And that's a really simple, easy thing for us to help you with. You know, like you've nailed the hardest things. You've nailed the hardest things, and I'm telling you, pat yourself on the back every day, because you've done amazing. And I think a lot of women can learn from you. And I'm sure you inspire many women in the program. Now, for those women who are not in the program and they're thinking about joining, you know, a few of the objections or worries that they have when they're thinking about doing the program, I'm sure that you had the same thing. Number one, they're busy. They got kids, they work. You just said you're really busy. If a woman thinks that she doesn't have time to do this program, what would you say to her?
Make the time. You do. It's amazing how much time we waste. Like, if you just get on Facebook and scroll, you could scroll for an hour.
Totally.
Yeah, guilty. That hour you could go to the gym and work out. And like you said, once you start and it becomes second nature, you do it anyway. Like, you know, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, they're my gym days, you know. That's it. I go to the gym after I go to work. I just put stuff in my Fitness Pal now. You know, I food prep. I have food prep days, or even sometimes I food prep incidentally. If I'm cooking a meal at night, I'll just cook bulk and then freeze it. So it actually kind of frees you up eventually, especially like the meal prepping. I did a little live the other week because I had like a week where my partner had an operation and he was in hospital. Yeah. And then he ended up, he had complications, and then he ended up being transferred to a different hospital. And so I was just traveling all around, but it was great because I took my food with me because I had stuff in the fridge already. And then when I got home, I was really tired, but I could just get a meal out of the freezer and cook it. So I was like so grateful. Like it just, well, it actually does free you up.
You're setting yourself up to make it easy to make good choices, I think. It's making the habits easy rather than hard of yourself. Now, I was going to ask you about doing it online, but you've probably already answered that about the support and, you know, it's if they're worried about doing it online. And finally, has it been worth the money that you've invested? Like,
Absolutely. I actually, because it's a year, I actually got a happy anniversary email from you guys. I had to read it 3 times to make sure that you weren't kicking me out of the program. It's like, oh, you've done a year, see you later. I'm like, no, it's absolutely worth it. You know, you think we've got access to trainers. We've got access to that nutrition advice. We've got access to Emma with her mindset. You know, you'd be paying way more if you sort out your own professionals to help you. You'd be paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars a week. to access those services, you know. So plus you've got that support of the community that's created, you know, via the Facebook page, but also, you know, Slack, where you can also ask questions. So it's so worth it, absolutely. Plus you also get, when you get onto Recomposer, you get your training schedule, you know, so you know what you're doing. So you're not just going to the gym every time and just doing the same things every time you go to the gym. And yeah, so yeah, absolutely worth it.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Michelle. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your experience with not only potential new clients, but women that are in the program now, you know, that want to look forward and see what's possible.
Absolutely.
What could be possible for them if they just be consistent and fail forward, like you say. So thank you so much. And if you're a woman and you're watching this and you've been thinking about joining the program, click on the link below. You can book in a absolutely free call with one of my coaches. There's no obligation to join. The only thing it's going to cost you is time, and we'll see where you are now and where you want to be, whether or not you're actually a good fit for the program. So thank you so much, Michelle. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you later.
I will.
Okay, bye.
Okay, thanks guys. Bye.